Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house.
Welcome to Minisode 9 of Fort Fritz. I am your host, Fritz, joined by co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Nick Spry.
Hello.
Angela.
What's up?
And Kaz.
Oh, wow.
So, if I were to say to you this, do you guys like playing video games?
A little bit.
At times.
What about video games that have like fixed camera positions, kind of like Resident Evil?
Love it.
Huge fan of Resident Evil until like four is the best, and then they just started
5 was
dropping off.
garbage. 7 was good. The newest one that came out, 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
excellent.
one was Nemesis?
3.
Yeah, 3 was good.
3 was good.
And then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
the
2, 3, all the original
I
ones.
remember
they were good.
dropping the controller with the original ones.
They
When
were
like the dogs burst through the window,
They
I
were
remember just
hard, man.
dropping the controller.
They were hard.
Well, I'm not talking about Resident Evil, but I am talking about this like survival horror game that came out in 2015 called White Knight. And you might be asking yourself, why am I talking about it now? Because it's at least 2 years old, if not 3.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a game that was released to the PlayStation and Xbox consoles and I'm pretty sure PC. It's now coming out on your mobile phone or tablet.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It is a stark black and white, and when I mean stark, there's almost no grayscale at all. You are this detective set in a film noir aspect of the 30s with the trench coat and the hat with like the fedora, and you go to this mansion and you're trying to track down, I guess you have to solve this mystery revolving around this maybe love interest of yours. And they will reboot this. It's going to come out in the fall. They did some things like they updated the saving mechanism on it, but the trailer is at the Facebook page. Go to @Fort Fritz on Facebook and you can see it. Really fascinating. It's White Knight. And
That's cool.
I
So
can't wait to play it.
like a negative space looking like
Yes.
Frank Miller.
I don't know that I've ever played a console game ported to mobile.
No.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either.
Ever.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Except for now,
like Mario's and Mega
like
Man's
the
and stuff
8-bit
like
stuff
that.
and the
Whatever.
16-bit stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Transferred over.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. White
Interesting.
Knight.
Crazy.
Very cool.
Is it night with a K or an N?
N.
Okay.
Yeah, and White Knight, and I looked it up, Nick Spry, nice segue into this next one. White Knight means a sleepless night.
Oh.
So there you go. You can scare yourself wherever you want to go now on your little handheld beat bop.
I hate when you use those technical terms. I still get all confused.
Jargon.
Is this Gizmodo? What's going on?
Do you work in IT?
Nick Spry, what do you got over there?
So going into the spooky lexicon, I'm again changing it up this week and just talking about a word that you wouldn't necessarily would have some sort of a spooky root, but it does in fact. This week's word is cobalt. COBALT.
Like the element?
Like those little bastards.
blue?
Exactly.
No, the cobalts. Cobalts.
Well, that is where it in fact gets its origin. So,
Cobalt evil bastards.
Cobalt's like what?
So he is talking about something else. So I am talking about the word cobalt. That's referring to the chemical element, the metal.
It's a metal,
cobalt.
right,
What Mandaddy is talking about is a kobold. So it's a Germanic cryptid of folklore, and it is spelled KOBOLD. And so it's sort of this underground, subterranean goblin
chud?
ghoul. Not like a chud. Not like a chud. Not like we're gonna make a chud baby in the middle of the New York streets. A little, but it's it's like a gnome that lives underground, but it would mess around with minors. Not kids like
like miners.
Okay, just to give you a
Not
heads
talking
up,
about a diddler.
don't ever say that in that syntax again.
Mess around with minors.
But it might also reward them. It could harm or reward them, and sometimes it would lead them to big loads, and that is LODES. I'm referring to like the mother load.
Okay.
Or it would punish them, maybe perhaps by choking them with noxious, poisonous underground fumes, or maybe
a deadly
cave-in.
oven.
Yeah. So it was a mischievous but deadly goblin that lived underground, and this also is fascinating. I'm looking at a Mental Floss this week, one of those listicles that they do, but it was a cool article. One of the sort of nefarious elements to this story with the cobalts and how it translates to the metal is because the two main sources of ore that you mine to get cobalt, they are cobaltite and smaltite. They contain a lot of arsenic. So the very fact that you're mining them could be hazardous to your health. Yeah.
Go to the asbestos mines for a few weeks. See how you feel.
I was just about to say, so is arsenic the same? Is it vectorized in the air? You can catch, like, you can get like cobalt, you can get like blue
Maybe
disease.
from causing the dust of mining away, but arsenic is, it's an element in itself, and so it can just be in the foundation, in the very, very sediment of the rock, and so if you're chipping away, it's becoming aerosolized.
You get that in you.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just ingesting arsenic.
Yeah. It's like getting black lung, but you're getting arsenic lung.
A lot quicker.
It doesn't have the same ring.
It's a little more
to it.
efficient.
Yeah.
Too many words.
Yeah.
More nutty.
So that's this week's spooky word.
Thank you very
Very
much.
nice.
Angela, what do you got over there?
Well, did you guys know it was the 30th anniversary of the Lost Boys?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Oh,
yes,
man, I am
30th
old now.
anniversary of a sweaty sax man, just on that saxophone.
Toot toot, man.
What was that
Just
like
go
cool
off.
song with like the choir who's like,
Thou
yeah.
shall not kill.
Is that what they were saying? All
Cry,
right.
little sister.
We gotta listen to that. Yeah, that was great.
Nice and Mary Chain or something.
Yeah, it was
Something
great.
dark like that. I think I also loved. It was where I first heard the Rolling Stones. No, the Doors. People Are Strange.
People are strange.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
when they're driving into town,
Yeah.
they first get there. Yeah, so
Good music.
you have Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, it's a great soundtrack actually. Kiefer Sutherland, the late Corey Haim, Corey Feldman.
Too soon.
See,
Yeah.
the fact that we're talking about this right now, it means that Corey Feldman just got another gig somewhere. You know,
Yes.
it just
Did you see the
by
last
people
thing he
talking
did?
about him, he
Did
gets a
he
new
knock
gig.
out his own tooth or knock himself out or
Did you see
something
that
like
weird
that?
thing where he had like a hood on? He had
Yeah.
girls singing for him.
Oh, he's touring with that. He was just in Daytona.
Yeah.
Not Tampa?
No, this is real. This is real. I wasn't opening for him. He just played in Daytona like about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
That was a live appearance on like the Today Show or
Yes,
something
it was
like
so
that.
uncomfortable.
But
That was
actually-
Angels.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy, Mandaddy, that kickstarted his new career? Like, he got a bump.
Yeah.
Oh, and people
He
are
got a
going
huge
to
bump
not
after that.
like, hey, I want to see this. Like, oh, dude, we got to see this.
have
It's
to.
totally
Yeah.
different.
I just want everyone and the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Lost Boys to go watch the video. It's like 2 minutes of every time someone says Michael's name from the movie. It's Michael. Mikey. It's the best 2 minutes of your life you'll ever
Who got
have.
the idea for that? Who was
I
like,
don't-
just like, I
Because
gotta
so
do
many
this.
times in the
Hi,
movie, you're just
people.
like, Michael. It's
People
great.
on drugs.
I love that movie. It's a great vampire movie.
awesome.
It's a great 80s vampire movie.
I have to admit, I have never seen that movie.
Cut off the mics. We're going outside right now. We're going to
Let's
watch
watch
this.
it.
Go take an
Gotta
hour and a
watch
half
it.
break.
It's
Yeah.
up there with like Big Trouble in Little China. That's
Yeah,
like a must
yeah.
see. You gotta see that
Absolutely.
movie.
That's a good. That's
Yeah.
a good.
It's vampires
comparison.
that don't sparkle.
Yeah.
It's so good,
I
man.
will watch it tomorrow.
It's so good.
You
I
need
know
to.
that Mandaddy does not like the sparkly freaking
No,
don't
it's
sparkle,
fucking
though. They're not
sparkling.
sparkling
That's what I'm
vampires.
saying. That's what
They
I'm
have
doing.
mullets, though.
They're
Fabulous
gothy.
80s
Yeah.
mullets.
They're
but
gothy.
Yeah.
You don't even know who Nanook is, man.
Nanook. Oh, the dog.
That's
Don't
gonna
spoil it
okay,
for me.
all right.
All right.
I got to read the script first, and then I got to make sure if it.
He goes full bore.
Anyway, congrats on Lost Boys being
Awesome.
30 years
30
old.
years old. Wow.
Thank you, Angela.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's crazy.
What you got over there, Kaz?
So in the vein of interactive digital horror entertainment, did you guys ever play Alien Isolation?
I wanted to.
Is that the one with the cool cover art?
All the Aliens games had cool cover art. It was the H.R. Geiger stuff. Like everybody it's H.R. Geiger, right?
Giger. And no one, even people that are huge fans of his cannot agree on it.
Even
He's
on
one of
the-
my favorite artists.
I think it is Giger. I could be wrong though. Gigra. It's like Gigra.
I'm sure there's been bar fights in a cafe somewhere in Europe over that.
Giger!
So it came out, I want to say it was like maybe 3-4 years ago. It was a slightly older game. But the premise was, it was a stealth survival horror game. You crept around a big ship, and the entire time, one of the xenomorphs was like actively hunting you throughout the whole ship.
Is the
And-
xenomorph the alien?
The big alien.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but like that game had a lot of others. Like the whole thing was the companies that funded the initial expeditions to find the xenomorphs were making like androids, and they revolted and took over the ship, and you had to sneak away from them or whatever. So there's like a whole other thing
That
going
seems
on.
to be like a common thing with every android they build is that like somehow it's inherently evil or like
Right,
gonna
it's
do
gonna-
whatever the fuck it wants, and everybody just keeps going, yeah, let's just put an android on this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Let's let them have their own ship. Let's let them have their own ship. Let's see what happens.
Never
What
gonna
could
do
go
that.
wrong?
What a major plot hole.
But the coolest, like the game was kind of the coolest thing was the interaction between you and this like alien thing, because it was like active. It wasn't like cutscenes, like it would show up at a certain time. The thing followed you depending on how much noise you made in like different areas.
Yeah.
And you always had the little, the motion sensor thing that would tell you like where it's coming from and how close. So you could sneak away from it, hide, get away, and then it would essentially find you again based on the doors you were opening or whatever. So they are releasing that, re-releasing it as a VR mod, so you can actually play it in VR, and that sounds cool as shit to me. So I don't know if
That's awesome. And I can actually play this one. I think it's on 360, so I can still play that one.
I don't know if I think the mod might be for
because the mod won't be
Oculus Rift, which I think is going to be on. They're going to do Steam. It's going to be like a computer thing. But that appears to be sort of the new trend in gaming. They have the Rick and Morty VR thing. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Yeah, I heard about it.
The last thing that I saw was just that awesome Twitter, or was it Twitter or Instagram? I think it's an Instagram page. It's like
it was Instagram.
Rick and Morty's little verse or something.
Map.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, no, this is a full VR game where you are Morty and you're going through this world.
My God.
And it's super.
I've got one of those VR like modules, so you come over, Mandaddy,
We're doing
we'll
that.
play the shit out of that.
That's fucking on.
There's and
Drunk
then
as hell.
There's another IP coming out based on a Thai horror movie, I guess, story or horror story.
Like Evil Ties?
I'm
I'm going to work, it's choking me.
from Thailand.
Family Ties gone wrong.
The people of Thailand have they're coming out with a new game called Home Sweet Home, and it's also coming out for the Oculus Rift VR.
That sounds oddly disturbing.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's your classic man wakes up in an abandoned building, has to find his wife, and horrifying thing tracks him throughout the
That old
house.
chestnut.
It's like man versus nature kind of thing, right?
Or bloody
man versus
faced
supernatural.
Thai woman.
Bloody faced Thai woman.
Man versus bloody
I love that
faced
dish.
Thai
It's really
woman.
good.
Like the slit mouth woman?
That's the fourth trope, right? It's man versus man versus nature, man versus supernatural, man versus bloody face Thai woman. What else you got, Kaz?
That's pretty much it. The trailer looks good for that.
Smooth.
That will be in September of this year.
Oh, perfect.
My last thing.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing Friday?
Probably trying to make money.
Oh yeah, doing that, working for the man.
Working for the man.
I have to work until 7, and then Saturday I got a busy day. But
Wait, what's going on?
There's a little feature film coming out, debuting on Friday called The Dark Tower by Stephen King.
On Friday?
August 4th.
Is that the opening night?
There's Thursday. I'm sure they're doing some Thursday events too.
It's the
at
4th
midnight.
Friday.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yes.
Maybe it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, probably maybe Thursday midnight or Friday during the day. We'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm definitely going to be doing some cosplaying, costume changes between the acts and stuff like that. It's going to be a whole thing.
All right. Mandaddy, what you got over there?
Well,
dog?
it's just actually just kind of a news story that just has been going on for a little bit here, and it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier with the idea of androids on a ship and how androids always seem to be evil. Did you hear about what's going on with Facebook and their AI program?
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, I did see something
Very
about
interesting.
that. Yeah.
And it's odd because just a few weeks ago, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg met and talked about AI. And after the meeting, Elon Musk said, Zuckerberg's understanding of AI is limited. Just kind of dissing him. And Zuckerberg was like, well, whatever, I got my own AI problem going on. And so he's had an AI program going on, or a group with inside the company Facebook, and using chatbots and creating AI that can mimic our speech and act so you couldn't tell, like the whole Turing test, if you can talk to something and not know it's a machine.
Never been successful, though.
But here's where it got interesting.
I'm
Is
not familiar
because
with that, but it
they
sounds
wanted
fascinating.
We
to
do it every single year. It's awesome.
the chatbots started getting a little more and more independent, and became great negotiators. And like when they would try to change certain protocols, they would accept certain protocols they wanted that they didn't actually want, just so they could reject them later. Like they were actually planning a little a scheme inside their own little community, the chatbots themselves. And so as they tried to modify them more, eventually a chatbot said, you know what, fuck you. And the chatbots started talking to each other in their own fucking language. The AI created a language that only the AI could understand, and they continued to communicate, and they eventually had to shut the whole thing down. Wow. And so,
They shut the whole program
down?
down?
Shut it down.
Crazy.
Yeah, because it started creating its own language that we couldn't decipher.
And also because Zuckerberg has a very limited understanding of AI.
Yeah.
So I
Elon
read
Musk for the win.
I read that that apparently wasn't the first time that had happened. Apparently, the Google Translator
I heard that too.
code
I remember when that happened too.
came up with ways to talk to itself, like a streamlined way to talk to itself using English words in a completely nonsensical way. And they realized it was like actually transmitting directions and receiving directions.
It was like a word algorithm.
So
Exactly.
crazy.
And yeah, I don't know. It's
Well, it's true, because the variations are, I mean, instead of 1 and 0, you have 26 choices.
right.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe, I don't
to
know.
hell.
I don't computer.
I don't
I will
compute.
bird that down.
It's just that, and even Stephen Hawking, the majority of
Stephen
the
Hawking.
geniuses all agree that AI probably needs to be really monitored very closely, because its whole crux is to be as efficient as possible. And eventually, they're going to realize that it's going to be way more efficient once we get rid of these idiots.
Sure.
You know, once we get the apes out of here, we're going to do fine.
Yeah.
I just keep going back to the meeting between Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Do you think that they met like covertly at like a Sonic somewhere, and it was actually just so Elon Musk actually just needed to do a hard reset on Zuckerberg's hard drive and like reprogram him, reset him. He's like, go back into the world, my little creation. It's like a Westworld type thing.
I think that's exactly what happened.
We will make boom tubes to Miami.
Oh, do you notice that there's a boom tube in
Got approved. He got approved for the contract, or there was a contract that went.
No, in the trailer.
What are you guys talking about?
In the trailer for the new Avengers.
Oh.
They for Infinity War, there's a boom tube.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Hyperloop.
from comic books. It's from the Marvel comic universe, when it's a way to get from the planet Apocalypse to other planets, and it's called a boom tube. It's just this giant thing appears.
Well, but also Musk has plans for what people are calling boom tubes, for their subterranean transporters. For high-speed transporters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes,
I thought
I
you were
did
just
know that.
referencing Marvel.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like a pneumatic tube.
Basically. Like a giant pneumatic.
It shows you what a fucking nerd I am. You say boom tubes, I automatically think Marvel. You say cobalt, I automatically think little devils. You know, so obviously I'm a really old school nerd shit.
I remember when Twitter tried their first bot, and it got into really racist and anti-Semitic sayings.
Yeah, because it fed off what people were discussing with it. And so people on Twitter, of course, are evil, horrible pieces of shit. And so the more it interacted with them, it just adapted and became a really racist piece of shit.
It's very sad.
America. All right, well, that's the end of Minisode number 9. Thanks for listening. Check us out on all the damn platforms. You know the ones, the Stitchers and the iTunes and all of that. So thank you very much for listening. Check out all of Fort Fritz. You can check us out on Facebook. You can find us anywhere, but listen to the main episodes as well. I am Mandaddy. That is Fritz.
Hi.
That is Nick Spry.
Bye.
That is Angela.
Hello.
That is Kaz.
Bye.
And you're you. Thanks for listening.
Aw.